Imagine waking up 1 year from now, and the person in the mirror feels like a stranger, stronger, calmer, sharper, more confident. Not because you changed your face, but because you rebuilt your mind and body from the inside out. That's what it means to become unrecognizable. Not pretending, not faking motivation, not chasing quick fixes. It's a quiet, relentless transformation where your habits, your standards, your energy, everything evolves so deeply that people who knew the old you can't quite place who you've become. And today, we're going to talk about how to make that transformation real. Because becoming unrecognizable isn't about impressing others. It's about finally meeting the version of yourself you know you're capable of becoming. Part 1. The decision that changes your life. Every transformation begins with a decision. Not a loud announcement, not a dramatic post online, but a private moment where you say, "Enough. I refuse to live below my potential." Most people wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect time, the right mood, or some magical burst of inspiration. But people who transform understand something powerful. You don't wait to feel ready. You decide, and then you build readiness through action. There comes a point where you realize that staying the same is more painful than changing, where excuses start to feel heavier than effort. That's the moment your life begins to shift. Ask yourself honestly, are you tired of repeating the same cycles? Tired of starting and stopping? Tired of knowing you could be more, but not stepping into it? If the answer is yes, then this is your moment. Transformation starts with ownership.
No blaming your past. No blaming circumstances. No blaming other people. Just a quiet commitment. I am responsible for who I become. Part 2. Rebuilding your identity. Before your body changes, your identity must change. Because you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your identity. If deep down you see yourself as inconsistent, lazy, or undisciplined, your actions will always drift back there. So the first step is to rewrite your internal story. Start telling yourself, I am someone who keeps promises to myself. I am someone who does hard things. I am someone who grows. This isn't fake positivity. It's intentional identity building. Your brain believes what you repeatedly tell it. And over time, those beliefs shape your decisions. But here's the truth most people ignore. Changing your identity feels uncomfortable because growth requires letting go of familiar versions of yourself, even if they kept you stuck. You may outgrow habits, you may outgrow environments, you may even outgrow certain relationships. That's not arrogance, that's evolution. Part 3. Discipline. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is what transforms you. When you commit to becoming unrecognizable, you stop negotiating with yourself. You show up, especially on days you don't feel like it. You work out when it's inconvenient. You study when you'd rather scroll. You rest intentionally instead of escaping. Discipline is not punishment. It's self-respect in action. Every time you do what you said you would do, you build trust with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Think about it. Confidence isn't built by hype. It's built by evidence. Evidence that you can rely on yourself. Small promises kept daily become the architecture of a powerful identity.
Part 4. Physical transformation. Your body reflects your habits. When you commit to transforming physically, you're not just changing appearance, you're building resilience, energy, and mental strength. Training your body teaches you lessons that carry into every area of life. Consistency beats intensity. Progress requires patience. Discomfort builds growth. You don't need perfection. You need commitment. Start where you are. Move your body regularly. Fuel it with intention. Sleep like your future depends on it, because it does. Over time, your posture changes, your energy changes, Your presence changes, and people notice. But more importantly, you notice. You begin to carry yourself differently because you know the effort behind who you're becoming. Part 5. The power of small daily wins. Transformation is not one big breakthrough. It's thousands of small choices made consistently. Choosing to wake up instead of snoozing. Choosing to work instead of procrastinating. Choosing growth instead of comfort. Most people underestimate how powerful small wins are, but they compound. Each day you act in alignment with your future self, you cast a vote for who you're becoming. And over time, those votes create momentum. Momentum builds belief. Belief builds action. Action builds results. It's a cycle, and once it starts, it accelerates. Part 6. Eliminating what holds you back. To become unrecognizable, you must be ruthless about what drains you. Negative environments, constant distractions, habits that numb rather than nurture. You cannot build a powerful life while feeding destructive patterns. Ask yourself, what am I tolerating that keeps me stuck?
Sometimes transformation isn't about adding more. It's about removing what doesn't serve you. Less noise, less comparison, less mindless consumption, more clarity, more intention, more focus. Protect your energy like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Part 7. Embracing discomfort. Growth lives outside comfort. When you push your limits, mentally or physically, you expand what you believe is possible. That uncomfortable workout, that difficult conversation, that moment where you choose courage over fear. These are not obstacles, they are opportunities. Every time you step into discomfort, you send a message to your brain. I can handle hard things. And slowly, your tolerance for challenge increases. What once felt impossible becomes normal. Part 8. Patience. One of the biggest reasons people fail is impatience. They expect immediate results. But real transformation is gradual, often invisible at first. Weeks where nothing seems to change. Days where progress feels slow. This is where most people quit. But those who become unrecognizable understand something crucial. Consistency over time always wins. Trust the process. Progress compounds silently before it becomes obvious. One day you'll look back and realize how far you've come, and it will feel surreal. Part 9. Building mental toughness. Mental strength isn't built in comfort. It's built through challenges. When setbacks happen, and they will, you don't collapse. You adapt. You learn. You continue. Resilience means refusing to let temporary struggles define your trajectory. Every challenge becomes training. Every failure becomes feedback. And slowly, you develop an unshakable mindset. A mindset that says, no matter what happens, I keep moving forward. Part 10. Becoming the standard. At some point in your journey, something shifts. You stop chasing motivation and start embodying discipline. You stop needing validation and start trusting yourself. You become the person others look at and wonder, what changed? But you know the answer. It was the early mornings, the hard choices, the quiet consistency, the commitment when nobody was watching. You didn't transform overnight. You built yourself piece by piece. Closing. The future is watching.
Right now, there's a version of you in the future looking back. Grateful or regretful? Grateful that you decided to grow, or wishing you had started sooner. Becoming unrecognizable isn't about becoming someone else. It's about removing the layers of doubt, fear, and limitation that hide who you truly are. It's about stepping into your potential with courage. So start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Make one decision, take one action, keep one promise to yourself, and then repeat. Because one day, sooner than you think, you'll look in the mirror and you'll see someone stronger, someone calmer, someone focused, someone unrecognizable in the best possible way.